Hey guys, short and simple one this week. I just been really deep in the Bronco Poverty Tour stuff. You can see the board behind me over there, trying to get that Bronco ready to go for Poverty Tour. I want to talk about that a little bit in this video. And I'm also working really hard on the 3D printer, getting a lot of cool stuff done there. So like, for instance, I got this is a shift knob that I made for the F-150 or the Bronco. They both have NMP 435. So I'm working on finishing up some shift patterns for that so that I can release it. And if you guys have a ZF5 or M50D or a T18, T19, something like that, I'm also going to make one for 4x4s. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll release that up on the bullnosegarage.com website. So lots of stuff going on, but this time I want to talk about, like I said, some of the 3D prints that I've done and Poverty Tour and where I'm at with the Bronco. Howdy folks, Ed here. Welcome back to Bullnose Garage. Kind of an off the cuff episode today. Yeah, lots to talk about because I've just been super busy on the Bronco. All right, so there is my master list of what's got to be done on the Bronco. You can see that I got the wheels and tires already kind of done. They're painted and ready to go. Got the cooling flushed out, and I got so much other stuff left to do. Power steering's got to get, that box has got to get replaced. It leaks like a sieve. I got to replace my oil pan gasket. I got to do the whole brake job. I got to do all the tests and everything, but we're working through it. So yeah, that thing is. You see how my 3D printing stuff I got over there. So yeah, the Bronco is in a state right now. The doors are off. See back there, I got the doors in the back of the garage. So I got the front off because I'm painting the front grille and stuff. I got the front bumper off. I got that painted. Got the bench seat out. That thing is in rough condition. Got a new rear bumper because the old bumper, the guy had tried and failed to attach a hitch system to it. So I got the new bumper on there. Got some new badges. I got to get my logo inside there. It keeps falling out. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, I got some of that stuff done. Finally got my antenna. Finally got my antenna for the CB mounted. Big old whip right there. That's a requirement for Poverty Tour. And like I said, I got the doors off. I can give you guys a look inside here. So yeah. So some roughness right there on the floor pan on the driver's side, but luckily it does not get into where the seat mounts. So I got to figure out how to get my bucket seats in here. So we're going to do that. I have to build a mount, I think. The bucket seat mounts that I got with the bucket seats that I have, which are back there. If you can kind of see them. Yeah, there's my bucket seats there. Got those for like $80, so I'm super happy with that. But their mounts are pretty much trash, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to mount some stuff in here and build a mount. But I'm doing the welding thing now, so I think I can figure that out. This thing was just packed with mud all the way in through here, so and it had gotten wet and just sat in this old matting right there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know if I have time before Poverty Tour to really clean this up too much. But we'll try to figure that out. So on the engine side, I haven't got a whole lot new done. It has a hard time starting, but once it starts, it runs really well. So I did have to replace the reservoir for the washer and the coolant. That's an aftermarket one. I printed a little adapter right there to make the aftermarket one fit, so that works. And I also printed a gasket for the water pump because the water pump in this new reservoir that I got from Amazon just leaked like a sieve. So I'll show you that gasket. That'll again also be up on bullnosegarage.com if you want to see that. So here's that gasket that I was talking about for the water pump. It just slips right over the top of it. It's a little bit bigger than the factory one, so it sits in there a little bit better. You actually don't even need the retainer clip. It stays on its own, but I still use the retainer clip to make sure this stays in. But yeah, it works great, no leaks. Like I said, I will put the 3D print file for this. It's made out of TPU, so it's a little bit flexible. I'll put that up on the website so you guys can print one of your own if you need to. So these doors are getting a complete makeover. You can see that I got the locks out because they were just trash. So I'll put some new locks in there. I got the windows out. They're completely empty, basically. Window regulators are out because the window regulators were garbage. I gotta put some new speakers in there. I'm gonna try to save these. Probably sand them down and try to paint them. I may make a 3D printed plate for this for where the speaker is going to go, because where's my other one? Here it is. The old previous owner just mangled this right here. So I'm kind of calling the previous owner a caveman because of how he treated this truck. You can see he basically just used like a chisel to make the hole for where he put the speaker wire through into the door. So I'm trying to clean up some of those mistakes. And I'm honestly not trying to make this into a 3D printing episode, but I mean, I built this new radio bezel for the radio and CB that I'm putting in. It's got all the mounting stuff behind it here that actually lets you adjust and clip in. I won't release the back part here on my website because it's really specialized just for this radio and this CB. But this front panel is actually already on my website. It's just flat with no holes in it. So you could take it and punch holes for your own radio stuff. That way you don't have to worry about measuring this curve here, and it just covers the entire panel. You could cut a hole out of behind here and basically put whatever you want in there. There's a little inverse valley behind all this that keys into the ridges that go around. Here, you know what? I'll show you. I've got one. I have spare parts. Okay, so it actually wouldn't work for this one because this ridge here is a little bit thicker, but the shape is still the same. So you'd have to kind of figure out how to cut these out. Different years and different models and trims had different types of bezels, but the shape where these curves are like this and the sizes are all the same. So you just have to figure out how you would mount that on here, and you can put your own holes in it. It's up to you what you want to do with it, if you want to use it or not. It's up on the website. There's a sneak peek of a new grill. Actually, it's an old grill that's been painted to look new. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to look on the truck. So like I said, guys, I just kind of wanted to give you an update on where I'm at with the Bronco. I've been working on it basically nonstop for the last few months. And I want to talk a little bit about Poverty Tour. So Poverty Tour is a road trip that's put on by Pole Barn Garage. And I think he did it as a sort of answer to Power Tour for those of us that don't have the budget or the ability to create hot rods, right? So Mongo's Garage reached out to me earlier this year and said, hey, you know, we're doing a thing on Poverty Tour, and we're kind of coming, I think we're coming through your state, and I'm not sure if you'd be interested in hanging out or just even coming by and saying hi. And so I looked into it, and I thought, you know what better candidate than the Bronco back here to enter into Poverty Tour this year. And it gives me a chance to kind of get out and stretch my legs and maybe meet some other YouTube creators and you know, kind of stick my nose out a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to get this thing ready to go. And I got until June, so I should have enough time. But we'll see. You know, so, but if you guys are into like old cars, this year's theme is land yachts, I think. Now, this is not a land yacht. It's more like a tugboat, really, but you know, that's what I got. So it doesn't really matter what you drive. I think it's just kind of a really open kind of environment. You know, a lot of guys just get together, car guys sitting out having fun. You know, it goes Route 66 from, I think, Missouri to Tucson this year. All right, guys, future editor Ed in the studio here, and one of the event coordinators, Wandering Iron on YouTube, literally just dropped a video a few hours ago with the final sort of itinerary and more information about Poverty Tour. So you guys can check that out. I'll put the link in the description. But I just wanted to kind of correct myself here. So it starts in Joplin, Missouri, and it ends in Berthoud, Colorado. I had heard somewhere that it ended in Tucson, and that's kind of what I ran with in my video, and that's not true. So it ends in Colorado. Poverty Tour is one of those things. It's like grassroots organized, and so a lot of details are shifting until everything's sort of locked down. I had also heard that one of the days was going to end in Amarillo, and so that's where I figured I would pick it up at. That's also not true. Day 2 is going to end in Tucumcari, New Mexico, and day 3 will go from Tucumcari to Gallup, and that's where I'm going to pick it up, is in Tucumcari. And I will definitely do day 3 at the very least. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go. I still have to coordinate with family and try to figure out like work schedules and all that kind of stuff. But I would love to go all the way to the end. They're having like a get-together little party at the end. That would be a lot of fun to get to. And man, that's a beautiful country out there to drive through. So I'm hoping that I could make it all the way, but we're going to wait and see. So anyway, I will put a link to that video right here so that you guys can check it out. It's got all the official details. It even talks about like where they're going to meet up every day, whether there's food trucks or not, all that kind of stuff. So definitely, if you're interested at all, make sure you check that out. So I'm going to pick up probably in Amarillo and go to Tucson. I'm not going to make it all the way to Missouri. I just don't have time for that, but I do want to do some of it. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, definitely check out Pole Barn Garage. I will link a link to the video for last year's poverty tour. It's super interesting. A lot of really cool guys doing a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm really looking forward to it this year. I'm going to, pack up the wife and kids, and we're just going to go have a road trip out of it and have a good time. Take the top off if the weather holds. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It gives me something to do, something to sort of aim for, a goal, which I kind of need, or else I just let things simmer for too long. Like, the 351 Windsor engine, which I'm not stopping. I just kind of shift the gears a little bit to the Bronco. And once the Bronco is roadworthy, then I'll shift back over to the Windsor and getting the heads off of that. I may actually the heads will be pretty simple to get them off and talk about. So I may do that in the next few weeks. We'll see what I have time for. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, internet ramblings, stick them below. You're going to go on Poverty Tour. You're going to look into Poverty Tour. You're going to check it out. You really should. If you are, drop me something in the comments because, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of guys out there. Should be a really good time. So, yeah, guys, thanks again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
She's rough around the edges, but she's doing fine. Tinkering away, getting things to shine. At Bullnose garage, she's considered divine. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next time.